Hello. Today's book is one of the books I got from the little library. And this was the one in Brooklyn in the school where I used to work. I made a little short video about it. It's Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop, the team that changed children's television. It's a very short book, only 160 pages of text. But it's very full, actually. It's really a good little biography of this great entertainer and ventriloquist, Shari Lewis. I first saw Shari Lewis probably when she was on television in 1960. She replaced the Howdy Doody show, Howdy Doody Time, on Saturday mornings in 1960, and Howdy Doody had been on for, I don't know, 13 years or whatever, and she replaced, I remember Howdy Doody too, and she replaced Howdy Doody, and I probably saw her there and then. I'm going to bring a couple of a friend here to continue with this little book review with me. So Frankie, do you want to join me? Hi Frankie, it's so nice to see you. Can you say something, Frankie? Frankie, you sound a little bit funny.
You might sound funny too if you spend 50 years in a box.
50 years? Maybe could have been even more than that.
All right, 60 years. 60 years in a box.
Yeah, well, I understand. You've been with me, with my family.
With you? Your brother is the one that saved me.
Yes, my brother is the one that saved you. I'd left home, and he was left with all the things in the house. And
yes, and he took care of me for all those years. And you didn't see it until your brother died.
Yeah, I know. Don't rub it in. And it's so sweet of Lonnie, my brother Lonnie, kept Frankie all those years. And because my brother and I,
go ahead, tell.
My brother and I used to do something called the Frankie Show.
The Frankie Show! It's the Frankie Show!
Yes, we did the Frankie Show, and so we had Frankie, and we did this little show, and you know, it could have been inspired by Shari Lewis. I don't know. Did you think it was inspired by?
I don't know. I don't watch television.
Yeah, I know you didn't watch television, but anyway, I think that's how you came into to being, and you were actually, you know, you weren't really a puppet. You are a, well, you're a...
yes, what am I?
You are, you're something for, you're like a pot holder.
A pot holder?
Yeah, open your mouth so they can see. Please, come on, open.
No!
Come on, open your mouth, Frankie.
I know.
Come on, open your mouth, please.
All right.
Yeah, see, Frankie's mouth is quilted. Frankie is really a pot holder, and that's how, but we rescued Frankie from holding hot pots.
Yes, thank you for that.
And we used Frankie for a puppet.
Yes.
And we had a puppet show.
Yes, you did. And you had a lot of fun, didn't you? I gave you a lot of fun when you were a kid.
Yes, you did. You did, Frankie. And you know, I was so glad when I saw you at my brother's memorial service, because I found that, you know, when I rediscovered you again, I said, oh my God, it's Frankie. Of all the things he had, I wanted Frankie.
You wanted me.
Yes, I did want you, Frankie. And then when I came back to New York, I didn't know where you were. I looked around all my stuff. I said, I think I left Frankie somewhere.
Yeah, you thought you left.
But I didn't. You were here with my stuff, and because I thought maybe I'd start the new Frankie show.
A new Frankie show! The new Frankie show!
Oh yeah, yeah, and we could do a little thing together, just the two of us.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
You didn't say my name very properly. It's Steve. It's not Teve.
Yeah, I know, Steve.
Well, it's Steve.
Well, then you do it right, and you say it right. You're a lousy ventriloquist.
Oh, thank you. I'm a little rusty. I actually haven't really worked on the craft that much, but I could work on it a little bit more. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Shari Lewis.
Okay, talk about Shari Lewis.
So Shari Lewis, and this is the book, and Shari Lewis worked she did a one-person Broadway show. She did the TV show for 3 years, and she did some local shows, and ultimately she got a PBS show in the 90s. Unfortunately, Shari Lewis died.
Oh,
Yeah, Shari Lewis died rather young,
how young?
65 years old.
65.
Yeah, that's I'm almost 65.
Oh, you're way older than 65.
Okay, I'm older than 65. Anyway, Shari Lewis passed away at 65 in 1998. So she worked really through the last half of the 20th century. And it talks about her life, her family. Her dad was a magician, a teacher, and also an amateur
Magician.
yeah, a magician, and he would, do magic tricks and had all this props for magic. And her mother was also a teacher too, I think.
You don't know what the weather was.
Yeah, anyway, Dad was the major influence. And, she was from a Jewish family in New York City. And so she got taught all these things about show business and actually trained with some old-time vaudevillian ventriloquist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and so that's how she got so good at what she was doing.
Wow, you should do that.
I did. Their old-time vaudevillians aren't around anymore.
Well, you can find somebody to tell you how to do it.
I guess I'm a little old for that.
I know you're old. You're old.
All right, enough of that. So, at any rate, she really honed this craft as well as other show business things. She could dance and she could sing, and she started doing she actually started performing when she was 8 years old. So it also talks about what went on in children's television.
Yeah, it's a kind of a sad story, huh?
Yeah, it is, because children's television, actually she got taken off for the Alvin show animation, which was from a record in 1967.
61.
No,
1957.
Yeah, 1957. I think there was Christmas time. All right. Yeah, so she was in this Alvin show was based on this stupid record, which was made by making voices by speeding up the tape.
Oh, is that how they?
Yeah, that's how they did it. So anyway, there was the Alvin show, and so animation, it talks about how live children's show with real hosts, the children could really connect with, sort of disappeared from the atmosphere, and because the animations could be resold again and again.
Oh, money.
Yeah, money. It's always a problem, isn't it? So the animation could play over and over and over. They were more like, they were more expensive to make, but they were more easy to put into syndication and so forth, whereas the live shows were kind of done after their run. They weren't something that could be rerun so much. I don't know why. I don't know why either, but anyway, that's what they said in the book. So you know, a lot of these people who were live TV people kind of disappeared. All these local TV things, like when I was a kid, there was Captain Penny. Yeah, Captain Penny in Cleveland, and Captain Penny showed us the Little Rascals. Yeah, the Little Rascals and the Three Stooges, and I really loved the Little Rascals. So I was one of the first, you know, kids of my generation to see the Little Rascals, who were sold to TV in 1955. So I was, you know, right there. You were right there. Yeah, I was right there in front of the television with Spanky and Scotty Beckett and Alfalfa and Darla and the whole gang. The whole gang. So so you know, and then you know, I kind of connected with Captain Penny and Barnaby. Yeah, there was also Barnaby on another station. So it was, you know, but all that stuff kind of disappeared when they just sort of kept showing all the cartoons. Yeah, I know, and I don't really love animation all that much. No, me either. Unless it's really like crazy and, you know, inventive, like the Max Fleischer stuff, you know, from the early 30s. Yeah, that stuff is fun. It's psychedelic. Yeah, it is kind of psychedelic, Frankie. How do you know about psychedelic? I know a lot of stuff. I learned a lot of things by laying in the box for 60 years. Yeah, I guess you might. I don't know how, but from transference. Oh, transference. Okay. Anyway, so that was basically the story of Shari Lewis, and she had her own company. They moved from New York to L.A. Oh, she married a guy that, you know, her husband. I don't know, her husband. You remember the book called what was it called? Yeah, what was it called? Come on, old. Yeah, let's see. It was what was it called? The Aquarian conspiracy, something like that. Yeah, it was about. It was like a New Age book. Her husband was a New Age publisher, and actually, she had a affair with. Now, I'm going to talk. It looks like it's a kid's book. It is not. It's really an adult's book. It's for grown-ups. Yeah, it's for grown-ups. Because at one point there's a story where she's you know, having sort of trouble with her husband, and she comes back from a trip to England, and when she comes back on a plane from England, she meets two very famous actors of the day, who Sean Connery and Michael Caine, and they actually offer to have a threesome with her. A what? A threesome with her. A what? A threesome. What's a threesome? Well, a threesome is when it doesn't matter, Frankie. It's not something you need to be concerned with. Oh, okay. So anyway, she didn't do it. So they had just finished making The Man Who Would Be King, which is, you know, a great movie. Anyway, her husband kind of was going to like dump all her stuff like soon after, and he married somebody else right after she died. That's not very nice. No, it doesn't seem very nice. But you know, I don't really know what the whole story is, but. You know, he was a rich boy to start out with. Oh, well, that explains a lot. Yeah, maybe it does. So, anyway, maybe he was just spoiled. Yeah, he could have been just spoiled. So, anyway, I don't know if he's still alive or what.
Didn't it say?
No, it didn't say whether he was still. It's from 2013, I think. No, is that 20? It's from 2019, 2022. It's kind of a new book. Let me look it up here. 2022. Yeah. So it's a fairly new book.
That was last year.
It was last year. So anyway, I thank you for coming on with me, Frankie, and seeing what I'm doing here.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a.
What is it?
It's a book YouTube show about the books I read.
Why do you want to do that?
Because I just want to. It's just something to do.
Something to do. Oh, why don't you just lay on a box for 20 years?
I can't lay in a box for 20. That will come up, I guess, in one form or another. But right now, I still have to be kind of active.
Why?
Because I'm alive.
Oh, you're alive! Alive! Oh!
Yeah, I'm alive. So anyway, I thank you for coming and being on the show with me and say goodbye to people.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Frankie.
Are you gonna do me again?
I might do something with you again very soon.
Do you promise?
I can't really promise. Please? Okay, I'll do something again with you soon. Maybe even live.
Live? In New York City? Wow!
Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it, Frankie? Okay, we'll see you later. Say goodbye to the folks.
Goodbye, everybody.
So that was my old friend Frankie. So anyway, this is a really good book and quite interesting to anybody interested in children's television or the business of entertainment and how difficult it is for anybody to continue and have a 40, 50-year span of entertainment, as well as if you're a woman, which is even harder and was even harder then. And as I said, she ran her own company, and so that's about the side of it. I think I'll probably take this book back. Oh, it has some photos. There's a lot of photos of Shari. This is kind of like a review copy or something, because on all the page, I don't know if you could see on all the pages, there's this sort of little pattern that says something, what, copyrighted material. Anyway, I'm glad I picked up this book. Thank you, little library. So look in your little libraries, maybe if there's something you really want to read, and we'll talk to you next time, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much.